I don't know how we started last time. We were just kind of like doing the thing, and now we were here doing the podcast, starting with episode 2.
Hank, the Mill Tank. And I'm joined by
Mr. Snoggings.
He's from the other, over the pond or something. So today we just watched episode 1 of March Comes In Like a Lion, I think, yeah?
Yeah, yep. Sangatsu no Raion.
Lion. It's very good. I want to start with the opening scene. The very first, 7 seconds or so. What do you think?
So, I really like kind of fantasy anime, things like that. And I got a very mystical, magical vibe of kind of like knowledge, but where it's knowledge that you don't know. And it's kind of just rushing at you in waves of patterns of just black and white.
Wow, that's pretty deep. That's way deeper than I thought about it. I just thought it looked cool. And there were these cuts to black in the middle of it that made it seem real artsy and well directed. And I just kind of liked it. And then it cut to the intro and I was like, oh, great. Great. Yeah. 6 seconds, cold open, weird thing. And then into the song. Yeah.
And that segues right into the intro song. So the intro theme is a song called Answer by Bump of Chicken. And if you don't love chicken, you'll definitely love Bump of Chicken. It's a very lighthearted J-rock song, plays along the light rock theme, but then this is super contrasting to the animation in the opening. We basically have half of it being this dark, muddy, underwater kind of scene with very muted color tones, and then there's a little bit of a brighter light that emerges, but I don't know. What does that sound like to you?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the opening. I think there was some swimming. Maybe he was swimming a little bit. It seemed very fantastical and surreal, which the whole show really has a surreal feeling to it. For the opening, pretty good. I'll have to rewatch it again and then give more on it tomorrow or the next time. For episode 2, should we talk about the next scene?
Yeah.
I thought it was... I want to take the lead on this one. This scene was fantastic. It had some really ghoulish, scary, but sexy looking monster lady. And she had my favorite face design in all of art, fictional art, whatever it is. The mask looking smile in Kakegurui, the vice president has that mask, that style of smile. Oh, it's my favorite. There's another fucking anime. It's Black Bullet?
Black Butler.
No, not Black Butler. It's this manga. I think it's called Black Bullet. It's some post-apocalyptic monster-filled. It's what's that? It's a crime thing. They're working with the police. That dude has the same kind of mask in it. Oh, it's so fucking good. It's cool. It's one of those Joker fucking face smiles, on a card. Not... Why are you so serious? Not that Joker. But the lady looked great. She said some evil shit. I don't even remember what she said. It was
she was basically hating. Yeah, she was hating on someone that we'd seen. She was like, your name is Zero, right? Re in Japanese, Zero. And he's she's just shitting on him instantly. She's like, you have nothing. You have no home. You have no family. You have no friends. We don't know anything. The MC is just taking it.
It was this weird way to give the exposition, which they give very subtly. There's a lot of nuance, and it's they do a lot of, that's the only time they tell versus show. I think the rest of the episode does a lot of show, not tell, in explaining the what's going on with our main character and just story info. But that scene was great.
Yeah, this kind of I don't know, I got the feeling or the illusion that it was kind of like a nightmare or a dream or something like that. And then what they do is they cut instantly to our main character, Ray, lying in his futon, just waking up from what seems to be a dream. And we get lots of shots around the room, right? Seeing what his lifestyle is like. Single futon. Right next to his futon, there's a shogi board. And it looks like there's some notes or some books that he's been working on something. In addition to that, we get shots of empty cup ramen. The lazy teen. I love it. That's me.
Yeah, it was a great room. He's in this one room kind of apartment thing. There's just a little mat on the floor for him to sleep on, and a shogi board and some ramen. That's it. He's got a lot of space. Doesn't use any of it. Doesn't need it. And I think the the way they shoot that scene where he gets up and like just goes outside is pretty great. Like the way he opens the door. I thought it's still going like slow and really artistically. Are you done with the room? The next scene is so good. Was it French music?
So yeah, I came to the same conclusion. The next scene, in order to set a really good pacing for this episode, in my opinion, it has this very soothing, like, French singer or lyricist singing this tune that I don't really know what it means, but it's just very soothing. And we get this background music as the main character is strolling through town, right? He's kind of just meandering. We don't really know what he's doing or if he's going anywhere, but he's just strolling along. We have this very soothing music behind him, and it sets a very good mood for what's to come.
Yeah, it was very cinematically done, like well done. He bursts out of the door, walks outside, but it's kind of slow, and this French music just starts playing. And it takes us through town. He's strolling through. There's like a butterfly that it cuts to, and like just some random tranquil things. Some pigeons, I think, but maybe that's later. Yeah, it just looks so good. And he's in like a sea of people. Like you see him walking through a bunch of people, and he's just alone, and you can really get the feeling that he's like just a loner.
Yeah. So one point I really want to touch on before we head to the next scene is where he arrives to and what he's holding. So after his long stroll, right, he gets to the train station, takes the train, he walks, and we finally see a sign.
Wait, on the train, dude?
Yeah.
Did you see that weird poster looking thing on the top of the train, like on the ceiling of it for like one frame of like a shot?
Was it an ad for something?
It looks like it's a picture of him but without the glasses, and he looks demon-y. Like his hair is kind of crazy and his eyes look crazy. It was nuts. Like it wasn't on the train in the other shots. Like I couldn't.
Interesting.
I think it was some weird shit.
Maybe it's foreshadowing. I totally missed it. So he finally goes to this shogi hall, and it's basically a pan over the sign that literally says a shogi gathering hall. But he's holding essentially like one of those tea bottles, like an ocha bottle. Right? I only say that because I've seen him drink it also later in the episode, so I wonder if he really loves this brand or he just likes to stay hydrated. This is a friendly reminder to stay hydrated out there, homies.
Yeah, these are virusy times, and you need to stay hydrated in times like these so you don't get the virus. And also, nobody likes it when their pee's all brown and smelly. Do you like that?
Nah.
Yeah, I don't know who would. Weirdo. Yeah, I like that he walked really far and didn't drink any tea. Like, he just been holding it for a while. And he didn't bring water. Like, he drank some water at home and then put it on the ground and left it. And I was like, why didn't he bring the water? He's bringing tea.
So he goes into this shogi hall, and he passes some other elderly folks that love to play. And he opens the sliding door, and it's just empty room, 2 shogi boards, 2 mats on either side of each board, and you get the impression that he's kind of disappointed that or surprised that there's someone out there, and it makes me feel like the opponent actually didn't show up, right? He got there and he's like, oh, I got a free win.
Oh, really? I didn't notice that at all. I thought he was just like, doing his regular day-to-day, just bored, like waiting. I had no idea what was going on. I knew he was going to meet someone specifically to play them. Like, it seemed to me as the scene played out, it was just his old master or his teacher, his sensei, just like running a class, and he was just there hanging out, playing with him while he ran the class. Like, I thought that was what he did to hang out, not that he had like a tournament match or something.
Yeah, the only reason I say maybe not is because before we have that woman saying he has no friends. So who would he hang out with?
Yeah, I mean, it's his sensei. It's probably shitty. He's like, oh, I gotta chill with this old guy forever still. Again, with the sexy mouth lady, she goes ham on him. She's like, you're shit. You have no friends. You don't do shit. You don't go to school. He's supposed to be going to school. He's in high school. He just doesn't go. In one scene, he's like, oh, I guess I'll go to school today. Like, he just doesn't go to school ever. I know we're getting ahead, but he goes to class and he's just sitting in the back. Like, they don't even bother to have the teacher be like, hey, you didn't show up. Like, no one cares. It's great.
So he sits down, and immediately we're straight cut to a quote on the wall that says, and this is a really nice quote, "The calm mind is the way."
I did not pick up on that. I didn't see the quote at all.
It's very essence, like, it's very important to keep a calm mind in any strategic scenario. Be very logical, try to pick the best outcome you can, because the opposite of that, an enraged mind, is going to lead you down an incorrect path on accident.
Wise words from a wise man, or Yeti. So I first thought it was his master when I saw the pictures. Like, I knew he was playing the guy, but they didn't really tell you like much about it. And then you see some pictures and it looks like a younger version of the main character with the guy he's playing with. And he's like holding a trophy, so I figured that's his sensei. He's just like playing and hanging out, or maybe getting better. One thing I started noticing during this scene was they have like the Monogatari-esque close-up shots in the weird kind of artistic direction.
Yeah, with the many camera angles.
Yeah, it looks like they'll have the close-up and it'll change the art, but not in a weird way. It's like surreal and absurd, but it works so good. I think like it's that thing that anime can do that other TV shows can't, or like cartoons do it sometimes, like in SpongeBob when they do a close-up and it's like really hyper-realistic. But I just think this is like a very good example, like this and Monogatari. Like I hope the weird artistic decisions keep like staying in the series. We get to see more of that. Also, what did you think about the sound effects? For example, like the shogi pieces on the board.
Yeah, I think the sounds are very, very crisp, right? They feel like they're the real thing, and they might even be.
That's exactly what I thought. Like, oh, that sounds real. Like, I don't know what shogi pieces
Like
sound like.
The wood tile, like on the wood board, the exact clack sound that it would make. They sounded really good.
Very satisfying. And they did a bunch of them, like, because of like 8 people were playing in the room. So you got to hear a lot of it at once. It was definitely satisfying. The bubble sounds from the water or the tea and the drinking was pretty good.
Yeah. And going back on that artistic direction you're talking about, the transition from these flashbacks of childhood with the MC, they take an interesting direction where they just straight cut to the man he's playing just saying it's nothing, right? And that has come from out of context. It seems like we're talking about where he's referring to the scene that we're just being shown, where eventually MC and the sensei get separated by some means. We don't know why. There's also a smaller girl and I think another boy with him. We don't really know. It's not explained. And he just cuts it to it's nothing. And I think that decision was very, very good for like setting up the story and like the fleshing out the world and the emotion that we're trying to portray from the characters currently have.
I liked it because it was very short and they just showed you a few seconds of like different characters interacting. Like it's clearly he was young, he had friends, maybe other, I don't want to say teammates, but rivals who were learning from the same master. And he's the one who gets chosen to go to the tournament because he's the best and he wins and his rival's sad. But I think the master's trying to console him because I think the main character feels a lot of guilt because he's just doing what he loves or what he's good at. He's good at playing shogi and he won. But his friend's like really depressed about it. Clearly you see like the master dragging him away. He's like screaming. The master's like, no, it's fine. Don't worry about it. You're just doing your thing, which is true. And it's definitely rough. But they don't spend a lot of time on it. Like they spend most of the time showing us the world.
The interaction of the two as they're playing shogi, like with the piece placement.
Yeah, they just little things that make it look good. And I think they're doing it right.
So I don't think anyone could predict. The MC beats his old man, no problem, sweeps him, hasn't said a single word to him the whole time, and the guy's trying to have friendly chat with him. He's asking how's it going, saying people miss him, the 2 other names we heard from before. He doesn't respond at all. He just gives him the cold wall. The sensei leaves, and he finally gets up and goes about on his way, right? He's relieved of his stress. So this transitions into another soft melody, but this time it's just instrumental piano, right? Flowing. And it seems to be the tradition that there's always like a flowing, soothing kind of music when the main character is walking around town or like through something. Because it seems like he really enjoys to be outside and to do that.
Yeah, I like the music in this scene. He's just chilling in a park and he gets a text. And it's someone who wants him to come over for dinner. I wasn't really certain who it was. I thought maybe it was like a friend or something.
Some person named Hinata.
Yes. Maybe a potential girlfriend in the making. But he instantly starts typing out a decline text message. He is not down. He doesn't want to go to dinner. I was pretty surprised. It was like it was definitely a good scene. They kept me invested in someone texting. So they definitely did a good job at it. And he's typing out a pretty good response. Like he's like, no, I don't feel well, can't go. For some reason I was curious as to what he was going to say. But before he can send it, he gets a text, another one. He freaks out. And it's the same person who's like, oh yeah, on your way back, can you buy this thing? Because of something. And he's like, probably thinking, oh shit, they're depending on me. I gotta go. And then he ends up going.
Now I have to do the thing.
Okay, what's the thing?
As he arrives, we meet we meet some random person, right? Really, 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 really small little girl. She seems to know the MC very well. Shouts Ray super easily. Drags him in. And Ray, this whole time, is holding 2 huge plastic bags filled with stuff. As he get inside, he starts dumping these things out, right? And it's single pack after single pack after single pack of pudding and ice cream from a kombini. And he's like, yeah, I'm sorry it's so many. Like, it's a gift. It's okay. You don't have to pay me back. But I didn't know which ones to buy because you didn't specify. So I just bought them all, really.
I did not see that part. That's very funny. As soon as he walks in, the youngest girl, his, I guess, younger sister's like, did you get Aizu? Like ice cream? I thought that was pretty funny. He got a bunch of ice cream. He's a good big brother. Oh, my point about the texting that I really wanted to get in was it's simple mechanics of storytelling that are driving the plot forward, but it's done well. My big takeaway from the family was...
Cat, yeah.
Yeah, there's 2 really cute Neko-chan. They're fat and they like meow. The milk pudding was pretty funny. I noticed this instantly that the art for the house set was very raw and old looking, like a Studio Ghibli, like sort of the way they can draw shit sometimes to look kind of like a really nice cinematic older style. It just seemed like they really took time to draw it. It wasn't like really crispy or anything, and it really contrasts with the characters, and it makes the characters that I think normally if you put them on a normal set, they wouldn't look that great. They look like pretty good, but I think the foil that the surrounding art and the set art has really makes the characters look good.
Yeah, they do a really good job with the artistic direction. I think we're going to consistently be saying that throughout this whole series because this show is not only gorgeous, the animation is very clean, and as you were just saying, like the palette makes it feel really warm and inviting. It pulls you in. So as our MC is just sitting there, he's chilling after dinner. He's watching the TV and there's some news on about this murder that has happened. And suddenly MC starts getting dragged down into this pitch darkness that's like grabbing him by the tentacles. And he starts relating the murder, which happens to be like a bludgeoning. He starts relating that crime to the match that he just played earlier that day, where it felt like every move he was making, he was slugging his teacher over and over again. Yeah,
that was really weird, but good scene. Very interesting. I like the tentacly hair monster that was grabbing him and his introspective kind of bubble. That was good. I didn't really understand what was going on with the story. Like, did his master die? And then he just heard that on the news and like no one in his mom didn't realize like, oh shit, that's your sensei. What happened? Was he just thinking about it and imagining that was like a similar thing?
Yeah, he was just seeing how it seemed like he was just hitting him.
But his master didn't die.
No.
Okay, good. I was a little worried about that. The character doesn't eat very much. It makes me think he has like some sort of oath he takes. Like, you know how a monk will like take a vow of silence? Maybe he's on like a vow of like good food. He only eats shitty ramen cups, which are still pretty dank. But he doesn't allow himself to like enjoy eating. Or maybe he just fucking doesn't care about anything except shogi. He's never learned to love anything else or enjoy anything else. And then he goes to bed
ASAP. Hits that curry.
Yeah, falls
food
asleep.
Coma.
Falls asleep next to the table of food and the TV. His like granddad comes in. He's like, "What? This kid didn't even stay up for me? What the hell? Like lazy fucking bum." You know, which I thought about that for a second. I thought every time I visit family, I am so exhausted. It's like visiting your family takes fucking energy, like half your energy instantly. Getting there and fucking talking to people. It's like it's 6:45, you know, and you're like, I want to get the fuck out of here. Give me that coffee. I need that. I'm not getting home. So I see where he's coming from. He doesn't see family a lot. It makes sense. You know, he needs a nap. But he got up, I think, and talked to the granddad or something and then went to his room and went to bed. Did you have anything more to add to that?
No, not really.
His sister comes in and sees him sleeping on the ground. He's got his glasses on still, so she takes them off, and it reveals him like he's been crying to sleep or something. And I can't remember if the sister makes this face like before or after that, but like she's really sad and worried about him, but it just looks so creepy. Like she looked so creepy, like in a weird, the art was so creepy, but it still felt sad. It was just interesting. And then we get our first dialogue from the main character. He's narrating, and it shows like, I guess he's like dreaming or something, and it's just him walking, or it's like there's this bridge. I don't know. It's just a view, like a scenic view shot, and he monologues to us that, and this is like 20 minutes in. Like, we waited like 20 minutes for the first dialogue from the main character, which isn't bad. Surprising thing they pulled off, but I think it's a perfectly executed way to get us into the main character. All he does is tell us his profession and rank. He's like, class C1, 5th Dan, Shogi Pro.
Yep, and he's only 17.
17 years old. It was clean, very clean shot. Well done, very well done.
So that's an instant cut from this dream again, right? This artistic direction of cutting stuff straight to being woken up by something staring at him from out of the blue, and then continuing that questioning and unknown. Instantly an alarm rings, and the middle girl, Hina, literally runs in yelling that she's late for school. And being MC and all, right, he doesn't go to school. Okay, he doesn't care. And then she instantly thrusts stuff at him and starts telling him to do stuff. Okay, now he has to help make breakfast. Here, stir this natto, whip these eggs. All right, breakfast is done. Here's your lunch. He gets rushed as soon as he wakes up. He has no idea where he is.
It's great. The sister does a little flashback of her talking to her mom and her other sister, because her mom's like, all right, I'm waking you up. This is when you wanted me to wake you up, right? All right, I'm going. And she's like in bed, like not really paying attention. And then she freaks out. She's like, why did I go back to sleep? Classic. Done it a million times. Have you even had people come and wake me up and say I'm up, and me be sleeping and then come wake me up later and be like, what the fuck? I told you to get up. And I'm like, what do you mean? Don't remember that. You never got me up. And they're like, yes, I did. You were up. You were sitting up. And I'm like, I don't fucking remember that. So again, I feel for, this is kids being kids. It's fine. There's one thing, the girl gives him a giant rice ball for lunch. Very cute. She's running low on time, so she just packed a bunch of rice and seaweed and hopefully some meat or some shit in the inside. Otherwise, it's going to be like a fucking nightmare to finish without a drink. He needs his bev. But she throws him the keys to lock up, because she's leaving first, and she throws the keys with the keychain, and it's this delicious squirrel keychain, which I had to talk about. It was great little touch. Like, they didn't have to make it a squirrel keychain. They could have just made it a key, but they went above and beyond. It's cute. Not everyone's gonna notice it, but I appreciate it.
So after Hina dashes off for school, right, she's finally out. She's left the house in the hands of our main character, Ray, and he's like, all right, guess I'll just chill here and finish eating. So as he's doing that, we get the really, really nice nickel belly sleep. Like, they're just two fat cats out, fully laying on their back, snoozing hard.
Hitting the hard snooze. They were loving it. Fat cats, probably just ate or haven't woken up yet. Been sleeping through everything. The girl was like freaking out, running around. No, those cats are chilling. And then we go to school. Like I said earlier, the main character's just in the back of the class, chilling with his notebook open, like looking out the window or something. There's no dialogue between the teacher about him not coming to school ever, or maybe coming in late, nothing. And then it just goes to the next shot, or next scene, where he's on the roof. The rooftop looks great, like the house did. Very raw, old style art. He's chilling there, and then this teacher comes up to him. I guess he wants to eat with him, and he's asking him questions like about his tournament or his matches, and he says he's watching him. He's been like keeping up with his records. And I thought I noticed who the actor was. I think he plays Oshino from Monogatari.
あんた君たちは元気いいな。何かいいことでもあったのかい?
Interesting.
Yes.
Did not notice.
I noticed right away, and I kept wondering. I have to check up on that, but I think that's the case. The teacher gets pretty pissed because he's like, Wood, you probably make more salary in a month than I do, right? And then he's like, fuck, you probably do. And he gets all pissed off, and he takes a fat bite out of his rice ball, like, fucking ordeal he's got going on. And then he's like, fuck you, I'm never going to eat lunch with you again. But he's probably going to eat lunch with him again. He's a chill guy.
I would definitely be upset if I realized one of my students made more than me as a teacher. But I mean, like, American education system, teachers don't get paid shit.
Yeah. I mean, in Japan, they really value education and testing, getting into good schools. So, and he probably goes to a decent school since he's a shogi genius. That guy probably makes a good amount of money, but not more. Well, then what's our main character's name?
Ray.
Ray? Not more than Ray. Are you done with the school?
Yeah.
Okay. So next scene.
After school.
After school, our hero flies to his... he walks to...
He flies.
He walks to
on a shogi piece. Golden General, go!
like Aladdin. He just has a board that like he just sits on. It's really tiny. You can only fit like one knees. He can only fit one knees hanging off. Yeah, so he goes to the family like shop. I don't know what they sell. Some food or some shit. There's good art in the shop as well. And then there's this scene where these old ladies who are working in the shop talk about the granddad. They're like, yeah, he has all these young, wonderful grandkids and shit. And it made me seem like they were hitting on him, like he's such a prized duck because he's fucking got grandkids and they can hang out with him or them. I don't know. It just seemed like a weird thing for them to say. Like, could easily be them trying to, like, hey, Gramps, let's hang out with those grandkids. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It was weird. What'd you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't think anything of it. I think it was adorable teasing.
All right. They had a scene or a moment when the granddaughter and the granddad are like being all cute together, and there's this like anime bubble thing, and they have like these super like blushy, like, I don't want to say chibi style, but like their faces change. That was pretty funny. And the shot after that, when the mom and the two daughters are saying bye to Ray, she was looking good. She was looking like a real snack. That's all I have to say about that scene. She's looking good.
So 2 days later, right, after our main character, the super introvert, has set out, right, he's doing his social distancing, right, he's doing his part to help out. After he finally goes out, it takes him 2 days to get back home because he gets all this stuff happen. And he finally arrives at home. He's like, all right, gonna check the mail, gonna go upstairs and just chill, study for my shogi match. Opens the mail. The thing I'm looking for is not here. And as soon as he says that, we get the evil, maniacal laugh of something from nearby.
That's me pretending to be the antagonist who looks like the old rival in the picture. He reminds me of, is it Taru? Is that his name from Steins Gate?
Daru.
He looks like Daru if Daru was slimmer and a more modern, like, schoolboy outfit as well, or something like that. Like a shorter, slimmer, slightly slimmer. He's not slim by any means, but he's slimmer than Daru for sure. And he says,
"Is this what you're looking for, Kiriyama Ray-kun?"
And it like shows, it like kind of zooms in his face, and he's holding this ticket, and it's the same kind of ticket that the main character had when he stole the opportunity from, I'm guessing, this rival in the past. Yeah, that last shot was great. It was great. It was a great way to get into the conflict. Like, usually anime take way too long to get into the conflict, like a few episodes. But this was good pacing. Great pacing, an artistic way to show the backstory and kind of the main character and like his family and all the parts of his life. And at the end, we get a nice cliffhanger, a nice hook. It makes me want to watch episode 2. What do you think?
I agree. I just on the first episode alone, right? You're not supposed to rate a show by its first episode.
I'm sure we can rate each episode.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, I think we should.
So I'd say this one immediately, right? I'd say it's an 8 out of 10.
That's a fantastic number. I think some of the pegs I would bring it down on is the shot before he goes into the shogi room. It was kind of far away, and the face art was just total crap. I get that you don't need it to be good, but it wasn't even not bad. It was bad. Like, if it was better, I don't know. I just feel like they're definitely putting the budget into good places where they need to. Like, they're lowering the budget on the environments. And really, when they go for those surreal shots where everything, the art style is totally different, they really crank up the budget on that. So it's a good trade-off.
But I want to comment on that scene because I think the focus actually wasn't the main character's face himself. It was the drinks he was holding.
Oh,
because before he went into the shogi hall, he had 2 teas. But when he left the girl's house, or his house, he only had 1. He stopped and bought an extra one on the way because he knew this game was going to take a long time. And we constantly have been getting shots of him always drinking like water. Like he takes out water bottles at the beginning. There's like 5 of them. He's taking out the recycling or whatever. And other times he's just drinking the tea that he buys from his game, for his game.
So you think part of his... Like gamers, like a lot of pro gamers have things they do. They either drink water or they drink Red Bull. And then Goichi, he's really good at fucking Fighter Z. He eats these white things. They look like Mentos or something. But he just eats them. And then commentators will joke around and be like, yeah, he's taking his performance enhancement pills. It's just, I don't know if it's like candy or whatever. But people who focus really hard and do something like that, usually have a thing they do. So it seems like our main characters, it seems like Ray's thing is to drink tea or water that helps him focus. That's his like nervous kind of thing that he does that helps him stay in the zone. I think it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe you think they'll mess around with that for the plot? Like maybe one day or one match, he doesn't have his drinks and he's like, fuck, like I'm not the same person without my drinks or something like that.
Yeah, I really don't know. I don't know what to expect.
Maybe he'll find a new drink that's really good. He thinks will put him over the edge. Like some energy drink. He never drinks energy. This time he's like, I need it. Maybe. I think 8 out of 10 is pretty good. The music was great. The art direction was great and unique and riskier. They did a lot of risky things that for the type of anime it is, it seems just like a slice of life kind of sports, really toned down, realistic. There's a lot of supernatural-esque kind of things that they threw in there. And it just makes it so exciting. Whereas portraying some guy playing some weird chess-like game would be hard to, it'd be hard to make it interesting. They do it really well.
You're right. So,
yeah, 8 out of 10.
Nice.
That's great.
I brought it back up from a 7.9, I bet.
For me?
I brought it back up, yeah.
You thought I was going to give it a 7.9?
Yep. When I commented on the face detail, it's supposed to be the T detail.
Maybe you're right. I want to give it a higher score. I don't know what's...
I mean, I think it's fine to let it build up. An 8 out of 10 is very solid for one episode. Like, if we for whatever reason found out that the series just ended on the first episode...
8 out of 10 anime.
It's very good. It's able to set up lots of characters and plot. It has very good, like, artistic direction as well as, like, backing music.
Oh, the French girl singing was beautiful. It was so good. Awesome show. All right. You think that's it for the show? Do you want to talk about anything else?
No, really.
All right, guys. Well, this has been 2 Snogs, 1 Hank. And we're signing out.
Thanks for watching episode 2, -1 of 2 Dudes, 1 Yeti.
See you guys.
Yes.